Guess what? When it comes right down to it, wherever you go, there you are. Whatever you wind up doing, that's what you've wound up doing. Whatever you're thinking right now, that's what's on your mind. Whatever has happened to you, it has already happened. Now, the important question is, how are you going to handle it? In other words, now what?
64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Book of the Week series. Every week, as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. My name is Igor S.F. Walker. Today we look at Wherever You Go, There You Are. Mindfulness Meditation for Everyday Life by Jon Kabat-Zinn. So how about you slow down and relax? Reduce all that noise for just a bit. Make that choice and decide to listen. In this video, we are reminded that mindfulness is about embodied wakefulness. Our minds are such that we are often more asleep than awake to the unique beauty and possibilities of each present moment. So stick around till the end. I will share with you some tools I have in use that will help you tremendously in this game of life. Discover a way to find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. I will share some tools to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management. To allow ourselves to be truly in touch with where we already are, no matter where that is. We have got to pause in our experience long enough to let the present moment sink in. Long enough to actually feel the present moment. To see it in its fullness. To hold it in awareness. And thereby come to know and understand it better. Only then can we accept the truth of this moment of our life, learn from it, and then move on. It is important for you to know that this is not some weird, cryptic activity, as our popular culture might have it. It does not involve becoming some kind of a zombie, a vegetable, self-absorbed narcissist, navel gazer, space cadet, cultist, devotee, mystic, or Eastern philosopher. Meditation is simply about being yourself and knowing something about who that is. It is about coming to realize that you are on a path, whether you like it or not, namely the path that is your life. Meditation may help us see that this path we do call our lives has direction, that it is always unfolding moment by moment, and that what happens now in this moment influences what happens next. Meditation is the process by which we go about deepening our attention and our awareness, refining them, and then putting them to greater practical use in our lives. A student once said, when I was a Buddhist, I drove my parents and my friends crazy, but when I'm a Buddha, nobody's upset at all. We tend to be particularly unaware that we are thinking virtually all the time. The incessant stream of thoughts flow through our minds, and it leaves us very little respite for inner quiet. And we leave precious little room for ourselves anyway. just to be, without having to run around doing things all the time. Our actions are all too frequently driven rather than undertaken in awareness, driven by those perfectly ordinary thoughts and impulses that run through the mind like a coursing river, if not a waterfall. We get caught up in the torrent and winds up submerging us, submerging our lives, as it carries us to places we may not wish to go. We may not even realize we are headed for. Now, meditation is learning how to get out of this current, sit by its banks, and listen to it, learn from it, and then use its energies to guide us rather than to tyrannize us. You can easily observe the mind's habit of escaping from the present moment for yourself. Just try and keep your attention focused on any object for even a short period of time. You will find that to cultivate mindfulness, you may have to remember over and over and over again to be awake, to be aware. We do this by reminding ourselves to look, to feel, to be. It is that simple. Checking in from moment to moment, sustaining awareness across a stretch of timeless moments, being here, now. You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. It is a commonly held view that meditation is a way to shut off the pressures of the world or of your own mind. But this is not an accurate impression. Meditation is neither shutting things out nor off. It is seeing things clearly and deliberately positioning yourself differently in relationship to them. If you sit down to meditate even for a moment, it will be a time for non-doing. Now, it is very important not to think that this non-doing is synonymous with doing nothing. They could not be more different. Consciousness and intention actually matter here. In fact, they're key. Certain attitudes or mental qualities support meditation practice and provide a rich soil in which the seeds of mindfulness can flourish. By purposefully cultivating these qualities, we are actually tilling the soil of our own mind, and we're ensuring that it can serve as a source of clarity, compassion, and right action in our lives. These inner qualities which support meditation practice cannot be imposed, legislated, or decreed. They can only be cultivated. Concentration is a cornerstone of mindfulness practice, where mindfulness will only be as robust as the capacity of your mind to be calm, to be stable. Without calmness, the mirror of mindfulness will have an agitated and choppy surface, will not be able to reflect things with any accuracy. It is virtually impossible, and actually senseless anyway, to commit yourself to a daily meditation practice without some view of why you are doing it, what its value might be in your life, a sense of why this might be your way, and not just another tilting at imaginary windmills. Our vision has to do with our values, with our personal blueprint for what is most important to our lives. It has to do with first principles. If you believe in love, do you manifest it? Or do you just talk a lot? If you believe in compassion, in non-harming, in wisdom, in generosity, in calmness, in solitude, in non-doing, in being even-handed and clear? Do you manifest these qualities in your daily life? This is the level of intentionality which is required to keep your meditation practice vital, so it doesn't succumb to becoming a purely mechanical exercise driven only by the forces of habit or forces of belief. Renew thyself completely each day. Do it again and again and forever again. Various subtle energy pathways in the body have been mapped up, understood, and used in particular ways in the yogic and in meditative traditions for millennia. We intuitively know that our body's posture makes their own unique statements, which radiate inwardly as well as outwardly nowadays. This goes by the term body language. Now we can use the language to read how other people feel about themselves, because people are continuously broadcasting such information for anyone with a sensitive receiver to pick it up. But in this case, we are speaking of the value of becoming sensitive to the language of one's own body. The awareness can catalyze dramatic inner growth and dramatic transformation. The next time you find yourself making fists out of anger, try to bring mindfulness to the inner attitude embodied in a fist. Feel the tension, the hatred, the anger, the aggression, and the fear which it contains. Then, in the midst of your anger, as an experiment, if the person you are angry at is present, try opening your fist and placing the palms together over your heart, or in the prayer position, right in front of him. Of course, he won't have the slightest idea of what is it that you're doing. Notice what happens to the anger and hurt as you hold this position for even a few moments. By invoking such feelings in our practice, we are stretching against the edges of our own ignorance. Just as in the yoga we stretch against the resistance of muscles, ligaments, tendon, as in that and all other forms of meditation, against the boundaries and ignorance of our own minds and our own hearts. And in the stretching, painful as it sometimes is, we do expand, we grow, we challenge ourselves, we do change our world. Nature's harmony is around us and within us at all times. Perceiving it is an occasion for great happiness. But it is only often appreciated in the retrospect or in its absence. If all is going well in the body, it tends to get unnoticed. Your lack of a headache is not front page news for your cerebral cortex. Abilities such as walking, seeing, thinking, and peeing take care of themselves. And so they blend into the landscape of automaticity, and unawareness. Only pain or fear or loss, they wake us and bring things into focus. But by then the harmony is harder to see. We find ourselves caught up in the turbulence. And it is self-containing, like rapids and waterfalls. Order of our difficult and subtle level within our river of life. As Joni Mitchell sings, you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Wherever you go, there you are. Have you ever noticed that there is no running away from anything? Sooner or later, the things that you do not want to deal with and try to escape from, or paper over, or pretend they aren't there, catch up with you. Especially if they have to do with old patterns and old fears. The romantic notion is that if it's no good over here, you have only to go over there. Things will be different. If this job is no good, change jobs. If this wife is no good, change wives. If this town is no good, change towns. If these children are a problem, leave them for other people to look after. The trouble with this way of seeing is that it conveniently ignores the fact that you carry your head and your heart and what some would call your karma around with you. You cannot escape yourself, try as you might. The purpose of meditation practice is not enlightenment. It is to pay attention, even at unextraordinary times, to be of the present, nothing but the present, to bear this mindfulness of now into each end of ordinary life. What is needed is to learn afresh, to observe, to discover for ourselves the meaning of wholeness. Wholeness, experienced firsthand, cannot be tyrannical, for it is infinite in its diversity and finds itself mirrored and embedded in each particular piece. Of course, you are your children's major life teacher, as much as they are your teachers. And how you take on this role will make a big difference in their lives, as well as in your own. I see parenting as extended but temporary guardianship. When we think of them as our children or my children, we start relating to them as our proper possessions to shape, to control, to satisfy our own needs. We are, I believe, in deep trouble. Like it or not, children are and always will be their own beings. But they do need great love and they do need guidance to become full humans. A proper guardian or a proper guide needs wisdom, needs patience, and in abundance to pass on what is most important to the generation coming along the path. Some people who find meditation valuable in their own lives are tempted to teach their children, to meditate. Now, this could be a big mistake to my mind. The best way to impart wisdom, meditation, or anything else to your children, especially when they are young, is to live it yourself. Embody what you most want to impart and keep your mouth shut. Monkey see, monkey do. For me, words like soul and spirit are attempts to describe the inner experience of human beings as we seek to know ourselves and find our place in this strange world. No truly spiritual work could be lacking in soul, nor can any truly soulful work be devoid of spirit. Our demons, our dragons, our dwarfs, our witches, our ogres, our princes and our princesses, our kings and queens, our crevices and grails, our dungeons, and our ores. They're all here now, ready to teach us. But we have to listen, and we have to take them on in the spirit of the heroic, never-ending quest each of us embodies, whether we know it or not, in the very fabric of a human life lived. For what it means to be fully human, perhaps the most spiritual thing any of us can do is simply to look through our own eyes, see with the eyes of wholeness, and then act with integrity and with kindness. Mindfulness, cultivated even for few minutes, draws the heart towards itself. It invites the intimacy we yearn for, and intimacy that is calling to us, because ultimately mindfulness is intimacy with the core selves, and then the world underneath any apparent separation between the two. And there you have it. Wherever you go, there you are. Now, please do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Share it too and spread the word. Do leave a comment and share your thoughts. Subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. And the link to this book is in the description below. So buy it, read, never stop learning, especially learning about yourself and nature. So gift yourself by taking the free human needs test on my website and find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. And if you feel you are ready to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management even further, do check out my Master of Life Awareness program. The links are in the description below. Thank you. Love and respect.